This new moon in Pisces is the pause for healing and release before this new beginning in spring will happen. Hi, I'm Karina, your healing arts astrologer, and I'm here to give you the new moon in Pisces report. Now, this new moon is happening on Sunday, March 10th at 1 a.m. So this Sunday will be the new beginning. And also it is initiating the new cycle for the 18-month cycle that will begin in January of 2025 for the nodal point shift. So we are having an eclipse in September 17th in Pisces. This is the new moon that is kind of setting the stage for what is going to be shifted this at the end of this summer in harvest season, which is pretty much the Virgo season, which is opposite from this season. So everything sets the stage as far as eclipses, sets the stage for the 6-month cycle, and this new moon is setting the stage for the next moon cycle, which is happening in September. So I'm going to do my Pisces thing. Okay. This is a super moon, okay, which just means that the moon is the closest cycle to the earth. And the degrees is 20 degrees. And 2 in Step Astrology by Christopher Witecki is the moon, and 0, which is Pluto. So I think this is the emotions transformed. I think a lot of us are releasing our negative thoughts, maybe our fears around stepping into something that is the unknown or new, or maybe even just releasing and letting go of the past, things that we've been really holding on to. And maybe we had future plans in mind, but the universe had something else in mind for us and different plans. And so all these unexpected shifts and timeline changes happened, and now we're left with what has been given to us. And what we are to do with that is really helping us move forward. And Pisces is the last house of the zodiac. It's the 12th house, and it represents endings. It's a mutable sign. That's what mutable signs are. They're endings of something that had started in cardinal energy, and we got used to in fixed energy. And then right when we start getting comfortable, the universe is like, just kidding. And it changes things. And that's where mutability happens. This is where we all gather in the collective unconscious. It rules spirits. So it even like has that feel of like a death, but it's really never a death. It's actually just a transformation or a transmutation. Now, if I were to have a glass of water and I boiled it, and the boil came up to steam into, let's say, a box, and then the steam ended up, coming down as water into a cup again, we wouldn't say that the water died, right? Because it didn't. It recycles itself. And that's exactly what we do physically when our bodies transform into the earth and our soul leaves our body back into the stars or the heavens. And then there's a whole cycle that starts all over. We come into some other form, but energy never dies. It's nor created or destroyed. It just is what it is. So another thing is Pisces rules spirits. So spirits could be wine, right? Because that's what they call alcohol, spirits. Or it could be That's the physical world of it, or it could be spirits as far as like connection with something that we don't physically see necessarily. I mean, some do. If you're clairvoyant, and that's where this Neptune comes in. And Neptune is conjunct this new moon because it is the depositor. We're looking at Neptune. It is the modern ruler. The traditional ruler is Jupiter, and Jupiter is in Taurus. So there's a lot happening around our values, and a lot of things are shifting around. And it can feel very elusive and like not knowing. So we really want to get into that Virgo energy of like earth groundingness. And so like that's just clearing, organizing, making way for the new energy. So like spring cleaning, that's why everyone does spring cleaning. I like to do it kind of before the spring, if I get the energy, because I have not had a lot of energy. But yeah. So Pisces is about hopes, wishes, dreams, and they're being felt. And it's a great time for manifestation. New moons are said to be the times to focus on what we want to manifest. So focus on the things that you want, not the things that you don't want. Use your intuition and don't settle. Like, use your imagination. That's what Neptune is. The most creative people and inventors have a lot of Pisces or Neptune in their charts because our ego doesn't create. Our ego protects. So the Neptune creates through the collective unconscious, through spirit, through God, through connection with our third eye, envisioning and seeing something, and then it is invented. And that's when we use our ego. Like, okay, I have this vision that I got, and now I'm going to make it happen. And that's Mars, like ego. Like, I'm going to go drive and make that happen in that spring. So right now we're at the winter, the last weeks of winter. I can't believe how much time flies, and we're releasing and letting go of this last year. Yes. I know we're in 2024 already, but that's the Gregorian calendar. But the astrological calendar says that Aries is the beginning of spring, and because it's still raining and it's still snowing in winter, and then spring comes, and then the showers be making those spring flowers, whatever. So I digressed. Let's talk about looking at where the 30 or the 20 degrees of Pisces is in your chart. That's what I want you to do. Look it up. See what house it's in. And this is where the new lunar cycle is starting. And if you don't know, then you can go to astro.com. It's free. Just put in your birthday, your exact time, which is found on your birth certificate, and your location of birth, and you can pull that information up there. If you would like a personal reading from me, if you're like looking at this and I don't know what this means, then you could hit me up. You can go to my website at www.lucidlivingmovement.com, and I will be happy to do a reading for you. There's many readings, and even if you want to get a card reading, I'm going to pull up that birth chart because I'm an astrologer. And I'll give you a brief synopsis of what you got going on there. Now, March 9th, is Saturday. This is a day before this new moon. There's going to be a very intense square between Mars, the planet of, the god of war, and Uranus, the god of unexpected change and events and freedom. So we have clashes between freedom and ego, or others and self, or future plans and the action in the unexpected new direction. Now use this energy for destruction and construction. So before we build, we must clear, right? You can't build a foundation on rocky ground or unstable foundation. You have to, like Demolition Man. That's when Pluto comes in and destroys everything and clears it. So the water clears it. And that's Pisces. Pisces clears it and removes and cleanses it. And then you can build your new foundation in your new home or your new life or your new relationships or whatever might be transforming in your life. This is an opportunity to break free from old habits and patterns that may no longer serve you. Reflect on the past experiences, especially in relationships, because that's Libra, and identify any reoccurring themes or behaviors that you're ready to release. Now, this aspect involves embracing innovation and a new future plans, taking action for a greater good, helping others, breaking free from old patterns, and finding new creative ways of tackling challenges and finding a balance between independence and cooperation. It's a time for forward movement and personal growth. And that is the only trine in this aspect. I could just pull up the chart for you guys. Then you don't have to look at me. Okay, so there's this trine I just talked about. Here's Mars over trining to this South Node in Libra. And that's embracing and letting go of, relationships focused, right? And future plans. And then we have this square. Mars square over to Uranus. See that? Here's the new moon at 20 degrees, conjunct Neptune at 27 degrees. There's a 7-degree orb here. And then you have Saturn way over here, which is still in Pisces. So we have a little stellium of Pisces going on, which is, emotion, and it's tears, and it's release and letting go. And when we cry, we release. Crying actually detoxes the body of toxins. And it's really good. And just release it. Now, this new moon in Pisces is a time of embracing our intuition in the past, accepting the future. The universe is throwing us into and wants us to embrace this new cycle. Pisces is about seeking and finding peace through the ebbs and flows in life. And that's just a part of life. We have ebbs, we have flows. This is what the moon does. The moon affects water. That's why fishermen look at full moons and new moon cycles, because the water rises and then it recedes. The ocean waves go out and then they come in. And we are made up of mostly water, so our emotions also ebb and flow. I'd say more, there's water signs, or if you have a lot of water in your chart, you're going to ebb and flow a little bit more in life as far as emotions go than, let's say, mostly earth signs, because that's the opposite. Earth signs are made to be grounded. So everything in the zodiac has a place within our own life. We embody the whole zodiac. I'm just not a Leo, but I am a Leo and a Virgo and a Cancer and a Libra, and we're everything. Just depends on where it is and how much of that energy that we actually have, which are the planets, right? So if we have planets in certain areas of the zodiac, then we're going to embody those more. But if we don't, there's a ruler of that sign, and that ruling planet is somewhere in your chart. So we actually do embody a lot of everything. And that is the Pisces. We're all one. We're all everything. We're all connected. And we have been experiencing like so much, like sudden shifts and changes in our life. It's the best if we embrace the mutability of this water season. It's like being in water. We're told when we're learning to swim to float, like just relax, relax. Because once you relax, you float. Fat floats too. What do you know? And if we stiffen up and resist the water and we're not allowing, then we drown. So if we allow, we float. If we resist against the currents of change, we will drown. So Pisces is a mutable water sign, which represents change, intuition, empathy, compassion, connectedness, trusting, being present, and connecting with the collective consciousness. Dreams, imagination. The third eye, which if someone that is clairvoyant uses their third eye is activated, and it has a strong Neptunian energy, purifying the consciousness, really tapping into our intuition and clairvoyance. Know thyself by looking within, having the moment of meditation and looking within, awakening your true soul outside of the ego, as the ego doesn't create, but the connection with something unseen connects you to everything that is you. Pisces is derived from the Latin words meaning fishes. The story of the birth of Christ is said to be the result of the spring equinox entering into the fishes, Pisces, as the savior of the world appeared as the fisherman. And the stories that he turned, water into wine. That's my favorite kind of fisherman. Let me take a little sip. That's not good. The depositor of this new moon is Neptune, and the modern ruler is Jupiter. Or, I'm sorry, Jupiter is the traditional ruler, and Neptune is the modern ruler. Now, Neptune is sitting with this new moon, and it's in the home of Pisces, so this is a portal to multiple dimensions and enter time experiences. Neptune offers us an endless opportunity of exploration, like traveling from like different dimensions and different worlds without actually physically moving, as everything exists now, where we are at the center of where we happen to be at this moment. I love that too, is like sometimes when I'm like having fear or I'm like stressed out, like I'm too, like I feel like I'm like behind, or I'm being left behind or something. But that's what's so beautiful about existence, is everything is happening at the same time, and you are where you're supposed to be. So never feel that you're not where you're supposed to be, because you wouldn't be here if you weren't supposed to be here, experiencing what you're experiencing. We're being taught, and there's times when we're not going to know why things have happened. But the beautiful part about this existence is we eventually find out why. I remember when I was younger, I worked jobs, they wouldn't work out, and I was always heartbroken because I loved my job. I loved to work. And I just really didn't know until I did know. And I was self-employed, and I have been since I was like, I'm not going to say my age, but very long time, over 15 years. I've been self-employed. Yeah, I was like 15. I was a smart kid. But there are, so many timeline shifts and portals to be transporting us in directions that we weren't not expecting. So we may not know why or what the outcome, but maybe at this moment, but we are being asked to trust that the waves are moving us in a direction that is going to lead us exactly where we're supposed to be. And it's for our greatest good. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the tarot cards associated with this new moon. So we have Neptune card, which is the Hangman, and we have the Moon card, which represents Pisces. Now, Hangman represents pause and surrender. It's about letting go, new perspectives, but the shadow aspect could be delays, like resisting or stalling or indecision. So we're trying to balance these. The Hangman reminds us that sometimes we have to put things on hold. And if we don't do it, the universe will, before we could actually move forward. And the universe will do it on our behalf if we don't. Just as the saying, what got us here won't get us there. The universe is asking us to let go of any patterns or habits that are no longer serving us in seeing the world from this new perspective and the new opportunities it offers that would have otherwise been hidden from us if the brakes of life didn't stop us to take that moment of pause. The brakes could be voluntary, our choice, or involuntary, the universe's choice. Pisces card, the Moon, represents illusion, fear, anxiety, subconscious intuition, and reverse would be the release of fears and repressed emotions and inner confusion. We want to be mindful not to project our fears into our present relationships or our future based on our past experiences. Painful memories that have caused emotional distress that have been pushed into the unconscious rather than dealing with the emotions. These emotions could be making a reappearance because Pisces rules the unconscious. And when we don't deal with these things of the past and we ignore them, we push them under the rug and escape through alcohol and drugs. Those emotions go into the world of Pisces. And when Pisces things happen, that's when they resurface. So this is a new moon in Pisces, and September 17th will be that Pisces eclipse. So pay attention, make sure that you're doing your inner work, whether that's journaling, dream journaling, therapy, meditation, sound therapy, sound healing. Any of those are rewarded to really move energy through and out. We want to be mindful not to make any quick decisions without having all the necessary information. Now is the time to listen to our intuition and take a pause to clear the past energy to fully step into the new as spring is just around the corner. So replacing fears and hardships with creative, intuitive arts is encouraged at this time. And speaking of creative arts, I am hosting my paint and sip on this new moon in Pisces this Sunday, March 10th from 2 to 5 in downtown Martinez at William Welsh Wines. So if you would like to save a seat, please just Venmo Lucid Living Coach, $55. That includes all the supplies, your canvas, and your first glass of wine, and instruction by me, and a little entry to what's going on astrologically at that time. And yeah, I do them once a month, and this one happens to be exactly on this new moon. So I hope to see you there. Now, this new moon is kicking off the Pisces eclipse, like I said, that's happening September 17th, and that's going to be at 25 degrees of Pisces, which is like a 5-degree orb outside of this new moon. The North Node shifts into Pisces and Virgo starting in January 2025. Yeah, so there is a lot going on there. It's an 18-month cycle. Mercury is at 0 degrees of Aries. So Mercury is moving into 0 degrees of Aries. Yeah, that's so crazy. Mercury and Mars is very direct. So we're going from this nebulous, like unclear, slower thinking, maybe thinking about more of our emotions, our intuitions, our dreams, our fears, like our releasing, and then like not saying much because we're in our emotions about a lot of things, in our head about a lot of things, and things aren't clear, to this new moon happening, and bam, you're like, okay, this is exactly what I need to do. It's like, this is what I need to say. These are the things that I've been thinking about that I need to get off my mind, and I need to be clear about what I want, where I see things going. And that's a definite shift. And it looks like, okay, so so the new moon this Sunday is daylight savings begins. So we're moving our clocks forward, and then the 19th, which is Tuesday, we enter the spring equinox. Oh my God. This is literally like the last 9 days of winter. So we're feeling it. We feel it. Just let it go. Let it pass. Blow up your floaty and go on that ride. I will read the inside degrees, okay, of 20 degrees of Pisces. And the Sabian symbol is a perfect black cube sits alone in the desert. Isolation, uniqueness that becomes separative and self-referential, exquisitely designed to be only a certain way and not any other way. Preserved against rust or corrosion, maintaining standards, priorities, what seems to be given, yet something is wrong. It is true that all lies within, and that turning yourself into what you are not is ultimately absurd. But you are not listening, not paying attention to the subtle cues. You are not intent upon self-consistency, that you have tuned out far too much in the process. And this shall call forth lessons and hard experiences to crack you open again and to give you a chance to discover afresh what can be when nothing is assumed and nobody has set anything up ahead of time. Got that? Got that? All right, so overall, this new moon in Pisces at 20 degrees invites us to dive deep into the realms of imagination, intuition, spirituality, and it's time for an inner reflection. Sorry. An inner reflection, emotional healing, and balancing the mysteries of life. By surrendering to the flow and opening our hearts, we can align with the cosmic energies and manifest our dreams with greater clarity and purpose. If you are new to my channel, would you please like it if you like the video, if you stuck around this long, subscribe to my channel, and share my videos if you feel that it will help anyone that you know. And if you'd like to support me in any way, you could either go to one of my paint and zips downtown Martinez. I have one in Point Richmond at the Baltic Kiss next month. And also, you could host your own paint party at your place with your friends and have a private event with me talking a little bit about astrology. Also, if you're interested in a reading, a transit reading, any life coaching, all of those are on my website at lucidlivingmovement.com. And I also have a Etsy at www.creative with a K, commodes with a K.com. And I sell crystal bracelets and organic skincare and all kinds of art. And yeah, I'm going to get into that card reading and channeled message. So stay tuned. All right, so we're going to start off with Radiant Wild. Let's see what we got going on here. All right, for the new moon in Pisces, collective. What? Whoa, 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 whoa. So we have the Two of Wands, upright or reverse, and Ace of Pentacles. So there is something happening with their value system, everything like that. Let's do the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so I am grateful for the abundance that surrounds me. Abundance and gratitude is so important for manifestation. Potential, abundance, wealth, and gratitude. So as all aces, the first card of the Pentacle signals enormous capacity for the theme of the suit. Pentacles, like the crystal, represents riches and all things tactical. The possibility for abundance and prosperity rises on your horizon when the Ace of Pentacles appears in a reading. The prospect of wealth in all of its definitions lights up your world. It can assume many forms, but unless you take action, the Ace of Pentacles gifts merely remains a distant possibility. This is the call to begin to direct your energies towards alchemizing something of value. Note that its worth can only be determined by you. Time to get to work and assess exactly how you will manifest the fortune you dream of. Be sure to acknowledge the jewel position you're in and practice gratitude for it. This will create more of what you are already thankful for. So the shadow aspect for this card is, while the upright promises potential, its introverted aspect warns not to expect it. Opportunities are elusive and crystal suns are rare in precious sights. However, you have the chance to forge your own possibilities. You would be well to take the safe and steady approach to your wealth rather than its spiritual, emotional, or tactile. There are new lessons to be learned from a more moderate path. Besides, not everything that glitters is gold for your being. If you're tempted to indulge in jewels you can't afford, use mindfulness to evaluate what really matters for your contentment. Where are you externally concealing a sense of uncertainty that could confront internally instead? The gems that you reveal through this inner inquiry might be of a different kind, but they will certainly be precious. So that might be for someone out there, but as a collective, it came upright, and this is all abundance, wealth, and potential, and using gratitude to focus on making those manifest into your life with this new moon. So every morning, think of 5 things that you're thankful for. Remember to appreciate even the simplest things. Make a point of feeling this gratitude on an energetic level. I have been journaling, and a lot of my journaling has been around gratitude. And so I feel like it's really been helpful in really shifting like what I focus on when the whole, like a lot of stuff cannot be working out for you and not playing out like the way that you wanted it to. And so when you focus on gratitude, it shifts your mind to like positive things. And then, yeah, you start seeing more of those positive things. So the Two of Wands, I'm going to look that up because this is at a 20 degree, which is a 2. I carefully plan my expansion. Clarity, expansion, gathering information means that they are an accurate match for you to stretch beyond yourself. Your dedication to rise to the task and grow into the responsibility will be tested. The Two of Wands encourages you to make moves of service of your best future self instead of remaining in the same place. But this isn't the moment for rash moves to speed up the process. Rather, take your time to gather all the information, which is already said in the astrology reading, and the need for carefully set everything up. Your vision isn't just an idea, but a potential reality that deserves your full attention. This way, you will be able to manifest that reality in full clarity. Rising to the challenge also means leaving the world as you know it behind. New ones await. The reverse is full potential. You're uncertain where to send your attention. Organize your agenda around your core values. Get clear on what you want to achieve and what motivates you to do so. It will be much easier to push through any challenges ahead when you are clear on your why. Growth comes with a risk. Stretching towards your dreams always entails taking a chance. Nothing comes easy, and great vision requires sacrifice, but the reward outweighs the parcel. Dedicate yourself to your expansion. Make a plan for just how you will get to your new destination and commit to it with everything you have. Take a leap, and it will only be a matter of time until you reach a better reality. The tip for this card is document your process and analyze it as you go. This might be in the form of a diary, a daily photo, a scent, or an object or a taste you collect from each stage. I like that. Actually, those 2 cards are perfect. And I will pick some oracle cards that I feel is associated with this new moon in Pisces, which is the Mermaid card. Got to do that. I'll pick one from Alice in Wonderland because it's very, very, very bizarre indeed. And the Circus Oracle because hashtag circus life. Why not? I hope you guys are all doing good and enjoying the shifts and changes. Rejection is God's protection and redirection. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Ah! What the heck? Well, that one fell over. Honor the masculine. Respecting men. Embracing the masculine. The divine masculine. I want to pick another card. But it's okay. It's got something in here, I'm sure. Okay, so for the many men of this world, there is a sense of confusion, shame, uncertainty about who they are meant to be. If they are masculine, powerful, dominant, and assertive, they run the risk of being seen and experienced as controlling and cruel. Many men feel that their sense of vulnerability and their emotional self has to be buried with the active self, a self who fixes, who knows what to do, who satisfies, and who makes sure all is well. The idea of masculinity has been corrupted and overtaken culturally, just as the concept of femininity has been hurt too. And we have many wounded heroes, wounded goddesses, wounded gods in our world. This does none of us, male, female, heterosexual, every sexual, homosexual, any at all, any good at all. It is necessary for us all to reclaim the sacred aspects of masculinity, to recreate and encourage a healthy masculinity that is unique and encouraged, supported, and listened to. We have so many stereotypes about how a man must behave, and men are suffering perhaps in some ways even more than women, as they have been so disconnected from their true selves. When this card comes to speak to you, if you are a man, it is time to understand, embrace, and truly honor the expression of your masculinity. Think back to your childhood and youth before you were told who you are, what it is to be a man by your culture or by your family or through your schooling and relationships. Who are you? Consider the possibilities that your own masculinity has been constructed to protect you. Perhaps some aspects of what you have been taught have created sadness, shame, and may even be ensured you missed out on the full and authentic experience as a man so far. Men are sensitive. Men are sacred. Men are gods. And the powerful insight of the mere folk can show you how to go deeply into the way your gender has shaped your destiny this lifetime. The merfolk encourage you to reshape it into the form that expresses who you truly are, not who you were taught to be. Interesting. Yeah, because Pisces has a lot to do with like this whole like Greek mythology story about Aphrodite and Zeus, and pretty much the moral of that story was that through the pain and traumatic experiences, you find connection and love. And that is the story. You could look it up. Look it up. I'm going to do the Divine Circus Oracle. Oh, well, that popped out fast. She didn't take long. Pinhead, Punchinello, 24. Card number 24. Do you ever feel just a little too blessed with new ideas, dreams, and ambitions? Maybe it feels like you need more hours in the day to attain all you desire, to complete every course, read every book, create every dream, and live at least 10 lifetimes in just one. Or maybe you just feel overwhelmed with possibilities and choices, with demands on your time and things to do. One of the gifts and challenges of the modern world is that we can be spoilt of choice. You have so many possible paths, so many choices to make on a daily basis that sometimes excitement can become overwhelming, or a feeling of trying to do everything and getting nothing much accomplished in the process. This pinhead knows how to solve this dilemma. The entire universe can dance on the head of a pin. This means you only need one point from which everything can come alive. If you narrow down your choices to one, just one for now, everything else will come in time. So that's just like making a choice or making a decision. Just as you would water roots of a tree and notice that not only do the roots grow, but so does the trunk and the branches and the leaves and the flowers and the bird life attracted to the trees and so on. And so to do, you need to just attend to the one important task. The rest will happen naturally. I like that analogy. It might seem like you're giving up on the many to tend to the one, but if you tend to the one, the many can come to life according to the timing of life itself. The Pinhead card comes to you with the prediction for the future and the guidance for the present moment. Whatever confusion or overwhelm or whatever grand plans you are imagining, even those that seem so vast as to be impossible, the next step to your success is the one simple step. Through there may be so much to do. You can accomplish truly magnificent feats of you are willing to take just one step after another. If you have too many choices to make, Pinhead guides you to just choose one for now. That will be enough to get everything else moving too. Even if it seems like you have to give up something in favor of something else. Any sacrifice is temporary in nature, and just like the tree that grows fruit, when you tend to the root, everything will come together. Perhaps surprisingly so in due course. For now, you are to move from the many to the one. And eventually, that one will move the many into life. Ooh, I like that. Woohoo. One step at a time, every day, every moment, I create my destiny divine. That was a good card. Now, for the last oracle card, Alice in Wonderland, the new moon in Pisces. Whoa. Never jam today. 35. Never jam today. Promises that never come to be. Empty words, not living in the now. Future fakers. All right. Promises that never come to be. Empty words, not living in the now. Alice couldn't help laughing as she said, I don't want you to hire me, and I don't care for jam. It's very good jam, said the Queen. Well, I don't want any today, at any rate. You couldn't have it if you did want it, the Queen said. The rule is jam tomorrow and jam yesterday, but never jam today. Now, the White Queen makes her ridiculous statements that jam is for tomorrow and for yesterday, but never for today. Alice realizes no one is ever going to get jam. When this card comes to you, what can it mean? Well, it is likely that someone is making promises that sound like there is plenty on offer, when in fact it is extremely unlikely they will ever deliver and come through on all the wonderful things that they are attracting you with. You see, when this card comes, someone is claiming they can do a lot of good for you, but whether they are offering a pay raise, a good time, or a commitment, it is never to be. The promise is never ever delivered or enjoyed today. They exist on promises of a better future and the memories of a wonderful past, but they will never make good on their promises when it most counts, and that is today. Fortunately, Alice is not at all attracted by the offerings of the White Queen. She literally does not want the jam, so she cannot be manipulated. But those who do want the jam could be forever living in the hope that one day they'll get jam. The fact is, this will never ever happen. Listen to the person making you some rather wonderful promises or boasting about how much they can offer others. When will they deliver? Are they always talking about the past and the plans for the wonderful future, but struggling in the present? If so, It is best to be like Alice and have no desire for promises which will never be fulfilled. So the deviation for this card are words are plentiful, but deeds are few. Thinking that the past and the future are better than the present. Being attracted by promises of good times and abundance that may never be kept. Boasting of plenty, never enjoying it in the moment. Manipulations and withholdings. Demand results in the present and work towards satisfying the desires yourself. Don't buy what they're selling. So yeah, I mean, Neptune could be delusional too. So, you know, people could be making empty promises, deceiving you, stuff like that. And it's good to just be aware and mindful of what's going on. You know, use your intuition to guide you if that's what's happening. So Cancer in the 10th house, I lost my planet dice. So I just have 2. And the 10th house is our career and legacy. And Cancer is the opposite, ruling the home and nurturing and intuition and mothering and nurturing others. So don't know what the message is going to be. We will see. All right. This new moon. The card of masculinity came out, and now the feminine mothering card. Okay, so this is the 7 of Cups, and 7 of Cups is about having a lot of options. Okay, there is a lot that is being offered, and it's about knowing which one. So there's opportunities, choices, wishful thinking. See all those? They're all in the clouds. There's, you know, you could be overwhelmed by the choices, or you can see all these opportunities and not to pass them up. You know, sometimes we could have so many options and opportunities that we just decide like, oh, it's just too much. Like, I just want to retreat and hide. But this is about, you know, knowing what to choose, what to pick, taking that pause, taking that meditation, listening to your intuition, and understanding that not everything is as it appears all the time. Wishful thinking, projecting into the future about what you would like to create rather than taking action here in the present to make it happen. So this is about like taking action. You might find that your ideas are not being grounded in reality. Your plans might sound fabulous in your imagination, but when it comes to implementing them, you may realize that they don't work in the real world. I definitely a victim to that. Okay. And we got the King of Swords on this shiny card right here. This is about mental clarity, intellectual power, authority, and truth. So the sword really cuts into the truth just because it is associated with the air signs. And it's a firm truth and express yourself with deep conviction. This indicates the clarity of mind. You can also master at keeping the emotions in check while you draw upon your intellectual power and mental clarity. So cut straight to the point and get to the heart of the matter for maximum efficiency. So I think that this Mercury entering into the 0 degrees Aries is going to help us make that action, encourages you to use the logic and intellect and not get so lost in our emotions. You need to be able to take any situation and look at it impartially, and then come to a balanced and insightful decision. So maybe someone's making decisions about their home and career. Possible. Let's see what card to meditate on for this, and then I'm going to wrap up. Gotta finish some readings. The Tree of Life, true wisdom and making good choices in life. Dude. Yeah, it's all about making a decision and a choice, and that's with anything. You know, once you know what you want and making the decision to commit to it and do as much as you can to make that happen in the physical world. And that's all I got for you. I hope this new moon in Pisces is going to be as magical as the outcome that will happen and manifest in harvest season. So I'll talk to you on the next video. Bye.